Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on Black Friday morning because we're now 5-0 in our last 5 chairman package picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another chairman package pick going off here today. Now, the best part about joining my full access, all-inclusive chairman package, it gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here with the free videos and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do here with the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in really any given sport side in total. What I do on my premium page is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays I actually like the best. I'm 4-1 on my last 5 daily best plays, 8-1 on my last 9 college football tier package picks. And finally, guys, once again, I'm 5-0 on my last 5 chairman package picks. And the good news is we've got plays going off in all of those memberships here today. It's an exciting time of the year. It's even more exciting when you are having the success that my chairman members are. Congratulations to you guys. You guys have been absolutely cleaning up. Once again, patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into some free content. Let's start off with the Celtics at the Magic, 2:30 p.m. East. Boston's minus 5.5. Total is 223 and a hook. And even though this isn't a huge number for Boston, you still got to consider the fact that they haven't covered a point spread in 4 straight games. Now, they're also struggling to cover the number in their road trips. Out of 9 contests away from the Garden, the Celtics successfully covered the number only 2 times. And surprisingly, their biggest issue on the road has been defensive boards. For some reason, they just don't rebound defensively well on the road. I don't know why. Now, on the other side of things, they're actually facing one of the better rebounding teams in the East, especially at home. Paolo Banchero grabs nearly 7 rebounds a night for Orlando, and he also leads the roster in scoring. Meanwhile, Franz Wagner scoring nearly 20 points a game himself for the Magic, along with 5 boards. Now, injury-wise, Fultz and Carter are still inactive for Orlando. Meanwhile, for Boston, Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday are questionable for them. Keep an eye on those guys. That could be, pretty bad if those guys don't suit up. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Boston's last 4 outings stayed under the total, 7-2 to the under in their last 9. Meanwhile, Orlando's 60% to the under for the entire season. Give them the Magic plus 5.5, under 223 and a hook. All right, next game, Suns, Grizzlies, 5 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Phoenix is 7.5, totals 224. Now, the Red Hot Suns won their last 5 straight. They scored a whole bunch of points in the process. They averaged over 129 points a game during that win streak I just mentioned. When it comes to point production, it's Kevin Durant who's second in the NBA right now in scoring. KD's drilling over 52% of his three-pointers. Meanwhile, Devin Booker is making 42% of his long balls. And he also ranks second on the team in scoring. Now, they're taking on a Memphis club who lost 7 out of their last 10. And they just can't guard the 3-ball to save their lives. These guys let their opponents make 41% of their three-pointers against them. That is a league worst. And when it comes to grabbing boards, they are one of the worst rebounding teams in the West on both ends of the court. Now, injury-wise, Kennard, Tillman, and LaRavia are still out. Desmond Bane is questionable. Meanwhile, for the Suns, Watanabe and Eubanks, they will not suit up here today. Now, 5 out of Memphis's last 8 contests stayed under the total. They're also 4-2 to the under at the FedEx Forum. Give me Phoenix minus 7.5, under 224. Next game, Bulls, Raptors, 7:30 p.m. East. Toronto's the 5-point favorite, totals 217. Now, the Raptors have played real tough late in games. They're in the top 5 in the East in fewest fourth-quarter points allowed. When it comes to covering the number, the Raptors did cover the point spread in 3 out of their last 4. Scotty Barnes leads the roster in blocks and steals per game. He's also number 1 in the lineup in rebounds. Now, Pascal Siakam, he grabs 7 boards a night himself, and he leads the roster in scoring. They're facing a struggling Bulls team who dropped 5 out of their last 6. And Chicago's biggest issue this season has been offensive production, or lack thereof, however you want to look at it. These guys are averaging just 106 points a game. Chicago's actually dead last in first quarter scoring. Now, injury-wise, more bad news for Bulls fans. Zach LaVine's currently questionable to play here today. He's currently battling foot problems. And for Toronto on the other side, Christian Coloco's still out. Young and Achua are questionable. Now, total-wise, we've seen plenty of unders in recent gatherings with these two squads. The under did cash in 7 out of these teams' last 10 meetings. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. As far as this season's concerned, Chicago's 5-1 of the under in their last 6 themselves. Give me the Raptors -5, under 217. Next ball game, Heat, Knicks, 7:30 p.m. East. New York's 5.5, totals 211 and a hook. And as good as the Knicks are on defense, I can't imagine they're going to beat Miami by a couple of buckets. This feels like a one-basket game through and through. As a matter of fact, out of these teams' last 10 gatherings, they're only separated by a point on average. Now, offensively, well, that's really not New York's strong suit this year. These guys are in the bottom 3 in shooting from the field, and they are facing a tough, physical Miami team who prides itself on defense. These guys are in the top 5 in the East in fewest points allowed. As a matter of fact, Miami gives up fewer second quarter points a game than any other roster besides one. But it ain't just defense when it comes to the Heat. These guys are dangerous shooting it from downtown. The youngster, Jaime Jaquez, he's drilling nearly 42% of his long balls, double-digit points a night as well. And, of course, Jimmy Butler, he scores 20.5 points a night and grabs a handful of boards. When you need a bucket, Jimmy normally delivers. His nickname is Jimmy Buckets. Now, injury-wise, Robinson and Adebayo are questionable for Miami. Definitely want to keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, for New York, Fournier and Washington are day-to-day. Now, total-wise, the Knicks have been held to just 105 points a game in their last 10 gatherings with the Heat. So once again, if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Now, they also saw 3 out of their last 5 at MSG stay under the line. Now, Miami saw unders recently against the likes of the Hornets, Hawks, and Grizzlies. Give me the Heat +5.5, under 211 and a hook. All right, next ball game. It is going to be Nuggets, Rockets, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Denver is the 4-point favorite away from home, totals 216. And even though this is relatively a short number, the Nuggets haven't covered a point spread in 7 straight games. They also play their worst basketball away from home. They currently have a losing record when they travel, and just 1-7 against the spread in those very road trips. And for Houston on the other side, well, the exact opposite. Houston's gone 7-1 against the point spread at the Toyota Center, and they got the outright W in all of those home games except for one. And if you're wondering what Houston does best, well, it's actually their defense. Houston gives up fewer points a game than any other roster in basketball. Goofy Dylan Brooks, he's tied for the team lead in steals per game. He also drills over 45% of his three-pointers offensively. Meanwhile, injury-wise, Oladipo and Thompson are still out for Houston. Jamal Murray still won't play for Denver. Now, total-wise, the Nuggets saw 5 out of their last 7 stay under the total. They're also 6-2 to the under in all of their road games. Now, Houston's 75% to the under in their own building. Give me the Rockets +4, under 216. Next game, Pistons, Pacers, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Indiana's -8.5, totals 247. And I tell you what, for those who don't know, the Pacers are the highest scoring team in the league right now. They average over 128 points a game, and they make more shots per contest than any other roster in basketball. And of course, Tyrese Halliburton, he's got a lot to do with that. He's making nearly 47% of his three-pointers, and he leads the roster in points. Meanwhile, Buddy Hield's drilling over 42% of his attempts from beyond the arc. They're facing a Pistons club who hasn't won a game in a really long time. And when it comes to offensive production, well, these guys just are not built for a track meet. They're in the bottom 5 in points per game, dead last in second quarter scoring. Now, injury-wise, Bogey and Harris are out for the Pistons. Nesmith and Nembhard are questionable for the Pacers. 8 out of the Pacers' last 9 home games did get over the total. As a matter of fact, out of 14 total games this year for Indy, the under cashed only one time. Now, for Detroit on the other side, they saw the over cash in 5 out of their last 8 on the road. Give the Pacers minus 8.5, over 247. Next matchup, Kings, T-Wolves, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Minnesota's minus 3.5, totals 229 and a hook. Now, the T-Wolves are playing some of the toughest defense in the NBA. They've got the lowest defensive field goal percentage in the association right now. And in the second half, well, they really do tend to put down the clamps. They give up fewer third-quarter points a game than any other team in the league. And they're facing a Sacramento team who surprisingly shuts it down late in games offensively. These guys are one of the lower second-half scoring teams in the West. And that's certainly a bad formula for Sacramento bettors because these guys play pretty loose on defense, on that end of the court. Their opponents are making almost 50% of their field goals against them. Now, Murray and Ellis, they're out for Sacramento. Colby Jones is day-to-day. When it comes to the number, the Kings saw their last 3 straight stay under the total. They're also 6-3 to the under in their road games. Meanwhile, Minnesota saw 4 out of their last 7 at the Target Center stay under the line. Give me Minnesota minus 3.5, under 229 and a hook. All right, next ball game. Wizards, Bucks, 8 o'clock East. Milwaukee's the 14-point favorite. Totals 246. And as bad as Washington is, well, I'm not a huge fan of this number for Milwaukee. It's a huge number. And the Bucks failed to cover in 5 out of 7 at the Pfizer this year, so it's not a great covering team at home. It's also a Milwaukee team who really just hasn't been good enough on D. These guys allow 118 points a game. And they play some of the worst fourth-quarter defense in the East. That back door is always open. And I'll tell you what, don't let the win-loss record for Washington fool you, because they still can get on the scoreboard. They still score. They just lose games defensively. But this team can get to the hoop. They're actually a top 3 point-producing team in the third quarter. And a lot of that success is thanks to Kyle Kuzma, who actually scores a team-high 23 points a game. When it comes to shooting the long ball, Denny Avdija is drilling nearly 42% of his three-pointers. Now, injury-wise, Ryan Rollins is out for Washington. Giannis Antetokounmpo questionable for Milwaukee. The Bucks saw 6 out of their last 10 get over the number. They're also 60% to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, the Wizards are 5-3 to the over in their road games. Give me the Wizards plus 14, over 246. Next game, Spurs, Warriors, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. Golden State's the 10-point favorite. Totals 234.5. And I'll tell you what, I just think this number is way too high for a Golden State squad who plays their worst in the Chase Center. The Warriors lost 6 of 8 at home, and they failed to cover in all of those contests except for one. And believe it or not, guys, the Warriors' biggest problem has been on the offensive side. These guys are one of the worst field goal shooting teams at home in the West. I know that's shocking. I know that doesn't seem true. But these guys, for some reason, aren't shooting well at home. And they're facing a Spurs team who's coming fresh off a nice cover against the Clippers. That was the game where Pop got on the microphone when Kawhi was shooting free throws and told his home crowd to stop booing him. That was very bizarre. But that was the game where San Antonio got the cover over the Clippers. And, I get it. Even though San Antonio has been having severe growing pains this year, they haven't been good. they actually do tend to play a little defense early in games. San Antonio, believe it or not, they're in the top 10 in fewest first quarter points allowed. Now, oddly enough, the Spurs did see 7 out of their last 10 ball games get over the total. Golden State 7-3 to the over in their last 10 themselves. Give me the Spurs plus 10 over 234.5. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into our next and final free pick for the video. Going to be in that Pels-Clippers game, 10:30 Eastern start time. The Clippers are the 5-point favorite. Total's 225. And speaking of the total, the Clippers saw the under cash in their last 5 straight. Unders against the likes of the Spurs, Rockets, and Nuggets. They also went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. Now, the Pels, on the other side, they saw 3 out of their last 4 stay under the total themselves. Unders against the likes of the Kings and Nuggets. And when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's being featured as my NBA tier package pick on my premium page. So if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line or against the point spread, this game's once again being featured as my NBA tier package play on patreon.com/BrockPage. And just a quick friendly reminder, guys, if you sign up for that package here today, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. They're all going to be included with your purchase. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, give me the under 225. And with that, folks, so now it is time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Magic plus 5.5 under 223 and a hook. Phoenix Suns minus 7.5 under 224. Raptors minus 5 under 217. I'm 5-0 my last 5 chairman package picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another chairman play going off here today. The link for my site is in my bio. Give me the Heat plus 5.5 under 211 and a hook. Rockets plus 4 under 216. Pacers minus 8.5 over 247. Timberwolves minus 3.5 under 229 and a hook. Wizards plus 4. Wizards plus 14 over 246. Spurs plus 10 over 234.5. And with my next and final free pick, give me the under 225 in the Pelicans-Clippers game. And with that, folks, that is going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. If you do end up getting a membership on patreon.com/BrockPage, you are going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks, that chairman package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you also get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube or TikTok. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Friday to you. Happy Black Friday to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.